Welcome everyone to our strength-based practices. My name is Janelle Santana and I empower you to be a better you. My focus is to assist you in your transition to discover your authentic self. Today's topic is boundaries. I would like to discuss 4 relationship boundaries. The first one is intimate relationship boundaries. The second one is parent boundaries. The third one is coworker boundaries. And the fourth one is friendship boundaries. Boundaries is a demonstration of self-respect and the respect of others. It's a structure, it's an expectation, it's a request, and it's a system that you put in place. Boundaries keep us safe from internal and external intrusions. We put boundaries in place to inform others what we will accept, allow, accommodate, and tolerate in our lives. Boundaries are parameters that keep you safe within yourself and within your life. It's a perfect way to communicate with others that you have self-respect, self-worth, and will not allow others to define who you are. When you feel your boundaries are not honored, you may easily be manipulated or used or even violated by others. It's almost impossible to have a healthy relationship with anyone without clear boundaries. It's up to you to create a boundary, and it's up to you to inform people of your boundaries. People may not be happy with you when you're establishing new boundaries. It's hard for people to accept change, especially those people you have allowed to get away with bad behavior. They may think or say you're acting different or moving funny. They will never think or say you're becoming a better person within yourself. Chances are you may lose relationships. Be okay with it because your self-care is way more important. When you want to establish a boundary, it's not up to anyone to decide what works for you. You have to decide and understand what works for you may not work for others. Establishing boundaries does not mean making a demand. For example, you will not talk to me like that, or you will not treat me like that. Establishing boundaries does not mean asking questions. For example, do you think you should be talking to me like that? Why do you think it's okay to be so abusive towards me? Being demanding and asking questions is not ways to establish our boundaries. For your information, you can't determine how others speak to you. They can talk to you however they want. They are their own person. But you get to say whether or not it's acceptable. You get to determine how people treat you by what you allow. You get to determine if the relationship needs to remain a relationship or the letting go process needs to be activated. When people don't honor your boundaries, they are teaching you and telling you what they really think about you and how they're feeling about your feelings. 2 reasons why people don't honor our boundaries. First one is you haven't defined your boundaries, meaning what you need to feel and how you need to be and what you want from others in order to experience honor and respect. Defining your boundaries is having a discussion with yourself about your likes and dislikes, or writing a list down of your likes and dislikes. The second one is you have to announce the boundary. Announcing your boundary is telling someone the boundary. We tend to expect people to figure out our boundaries. How can they do that when they don't know our boundaries? You have to tell them. Process your boundaries. Inform others of the boundaries. Inform them when they violate your boundary. Example, I hear what you're saying. I wanted to let you know that it is no longer okay for you to call me out my name. Identify the parameters around the boundary, how you need the boundary to operate. Example, you probably didn't mean to be disrespectful, but I can't allow people to call me out my name. Instruct or educate how the boundary works for you. Example, so here's my request. I ask that you refrain from calling me anything but my name. It's up to you to inform the consequence for the violation of the boundary. When you have a clear boundary, you must also have a clear consequence for the violation. A boundary without a consequence is an empty threat. Don't sell wolf tickets. Be clear about what will happen when the boundary is violated. Example, if you insist on calling me anything other than my name, I will remove myself from the conversation. And when you're ready to honor my boundary, we can talk. You don't have to get upset when announcing your consequence. Try to be calm, because when you're yelling, no one is listening. When you draw a line and someone crosses it, show them that the consequence is in place and immediately activate it when the boundary is crossed. Don't wait till next week to talk about it. Do it now. Be willing to forgive when a boundary isn't intentionally crossed or unknowingly crossed. If a person didn't know the boundary exists, how can they honor it? When you have clear boundaries, it means you have honor and respect of your integrity. You must also be willing to surrender the relationship for repeated violators. Let them go because they don't want to, or they're not willing to respect your boundaries. Having boundaries is learning to say no. Simple, no. It's been too long with us being people pleasers, willing to put ourselves at a disadvantage in order to accommodate someone. Stop being people pleasers and work on your self-care, self-love, and self-worth. Boundaries are beneficial to your well-being. Selfishness is necessary when creating boundaries. Stop diminishing yourself in order to please others. Have boundaries, honor your boundaries, reward people who support you by honoring your boundaries. Let them know you appreciate them. Reward people who support your self-care transformation. Here are 4 scenarios, examples you can use when boundaries are not set and not honored. The first one is intimate relationship boundaries. When you're in a relationship and you and your partner get upset and you call him a motherfucker and he calls you a bitch, you know you don't like the way those insulting words made you feel. How would you approach the conversation so that he or she will know not to do it again? Maybe the conversation could go as follows. I don't like you calling me names. When we have a disagreement, it hurts my feelings when someone calls me out my name. I would like you to refrain from calling me names. And if you can't, I will remove myself from the disagreement. And I will not return until you are ready to honor my boundaries by not disrespecting me. The second one is parent boundaries. I have a 14-year-old son, and he wants to be my friend. He told me some of his friends' parents tell them, I'm your mother and I'm your friend. You can come to me for anything. As you all know, I'm extra. I said to my son, when I had you, I wasn't looking for friends and I'm not in need of friends. But this is what I'll do for you. If your friends have room for you in their homes, you can move in and you guys all could be friends. Boundary is, I'm your mommy and you're my son. You can feel free to come to me for anything. I don't have to be your friend for us to communicate. I will only allow you and I to have a mother-child relationship. If you don't like the parent-child relationship, you can move out. Yes, I told my son his consequence would be to move out because he is looking for friends and I'm only looking to be his mother. This is a very tough boundary for parents. The reason why is because our children will get comfortable, so comfortable that they think they can disrespect us. Be careful with that boundary. Coworker boundaries. I worked at this job with the clinical director. My boss will host team meetings. When the team would discuss issues regarding clients, she would communicate gestures of shutting up, such as, I went to the program director and informed him that she is rude and disrespectful. He in turn said she and I need to meet because she should not disrespect the team or anyone else. I said, exactly. Before the meeting, he had to calm me down and remind me of my profession. His position was, how would she know when the line staff are with the residents more than she is? How would you know what's going on? So she walked in the door. I said, hello, Dr. So-and-so. My director said, Janelle informed me that you tell the team and her to shut up. She looked a little puzzled and said, not that I can recall. My blood was boiling at this point because she lied. He asked, can I tell them what I saw that she can't recollect? I said, I talked about a client and their concerns, and you told me to shut up. She said, yes, she did. And her reason was because she felt I didn't know what I was talking about. But I did. I said, well, I don't appreciate it. And basically she said, okay. I did say we are adults and that she can no longer cross the disrespectful boundary with me. I informed her of the consequence. I told her if she does it again, I'm going to remind her of the boundary and then I'm going to file a complaint with HR department. Wow, did her eyes open. She said she was sorry and it will not happen again. Friendship boundaries. I had this best friend many moons ago, and she decided to discuss my business with another friend who I did not tell certain things to because she was a close friend. I basically asked her not to do it again. Because I was close to her, I never told her my boundaries, so I kept the relationship going. I did explain to my friend the next time she crosses the line, her and I friendship will be over. Of course, she crossed the line and the friendship ended. Here we go, an aha moment. When you find yourself in the same difficult situation over and over, consider this. The trouble will stay with you or keep returning to you until it teaches you what you need to learn. By Iyanla Vanzant. Don't forget to hit the subscribe tab and enjoy all my videos. My name is Janelle Santana. I am the founder of Strength-Based Approach. We focus on self-care. We help you transition to your authentic self. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And thank you for your continued journey with daily self-care.